Hello everyone. So I'm still getting a couple of questions about the Git process and creating a Git repository and then getting your code onto it so that you can start version control, collaborate, submit your assignments to me. And I just wanted to make sure that I give you guys a full-on explanation like we did in class so that you can see exactly how this works. So like we said in class, the first step should always be to go into GitHub and create the repository. And the reason that we want to do that is so that we have a jumping off point. It's a little bit easier to start with GitHub and bring it into your computer than it is to start on your computer and push it up to GitHub. So I'm opening up Chrome. I'm going to my GitHub account. And the first thing I'm going to do is click on this plus sign in the top right hand corner and create a new repository. I'm going to call this Git example. You guys would obviously name it whatever you're going to call it for your assignment. I'm going to make sure that it's public, and I'm going to initialize this repository with a README. This step starts the repository off with a file, which makes the clone process and working with the repository a little bit easier. It saves you a couple of steps on that initial clone. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to click Create Repository. And as you can see, I've got my repository set up, I've got a README file in here, and now I'm ready to start getting this repository onto my computer. To do that, I'm going to go into Clone or Download. And for you guys, you're probably going to want to use the HTTPS version. The SSH version is a separate setup process on GitHub that I did not teach in class. And when you guys use HTTPS to check out for the first time, it will ask you to sign into your GitHub when you want to commit. Again, that's only on the first time. After that, it should remember. So you guys are going to click clone with HTTPS and you're going to hit copy. I'm just going to do it with the SSH version for the purposes of this demonstration. And I'm going to go to CD in my terminal, CD ~sites, which is me changing the directory to my user's home directory, and then the sites subdirectory. That takes me into sites, just like we did in class. I'm going to do git space clone, and then paste in the URL that I got when I clicked on the copy button here. Okay? And I hit enter. And you can see it says cloning into git-example. It gives me all the output of the cloning process, and then I'm back to the prompt that I started out at. From there, I can actually change directories into the Git example directory. That way I'm working inside of my repository. So cd git-example. All right, I'm in there. Because we installed the ZSH terminal in class, you should have something here that indicates that you're in a Git repository, and in parentheses the branch that you're working on. Master is fine. And then to start working with the repository, I'm going to open this directory up in Atom. And the way I do that is, now that I've CD'd into my git-example directory, I'm going to type atom space dot. And that will open up Atom with it pre-selected to the git example directory. From there, I'm going to create my first file. So you guys will presumably start working on your assignment. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to create a random file, and we're going to get it all the way up to GitHub. I'll call the file index.html. My assignment /website /project goes here. Save it. Maybe I'm going to create a CSS file for it. And maybe I'm going to create a JavaScript file for it. And as you can see, as I create these files, they light up in green over on the left-hand side. That is because I have created new files, and Atom is telling me that they are pending commit, that they are new files that need to be added to the Git repository. So I'm ready to go, right? I have my files. I'm ready to make my first commit to GitHub. Obviously, you don't have to create a JS file. You don't have to create a CSS file. That was just for the purposes of this demonstration. I go back into my terminal, and I'm right where I left off before, atom dot being the last thing I did. I do git space status. It gives me a list in red of the files that are ready to be staged to be committed. Here it says they're untracked files. That just means they're new. These are files that did not previously exist in the repository. they're all good to me, right? I want to add index.html, I want to add main.js, I want to add style.css. So to add them all, I do git space add space dot, and that enqueues all of them to be committed. As you can see here, it says changes to be committed. So they're not committed yet, but they're on the list. When I run the commit command, it will read from this list, and every item on this list gets committed to the repository. So I'm going to do that now. Git space commit space -m for message. This is my first commit, and 3 files changed, 1 insertion. That's just because there's 1 line. Out of all 3 files, there's only 1 line. It's the line that I put here that says my assignment website project goes here. Git status to see if everything went. It did. I have nothing pending. Your branch is ahead of origin master by 1 commit. The reason it says that is because the commit process only updates the repository on my computer, right? We did git clone. That creates a copy of the repository that's on GitHub on your computer. To get the changes back into GitHub, we have to sync our computer with GitHub, or push it, and that's the git command. So git space push, and then we have to tell it we want to send it to GitHub, and the way we do that is by writing origin, right? So git push to the origin, or to GitHub, and then the name of the branch that we want to push, master. So git space push space origin space master. I hit return. It pushed everything up for me according to my output here, but I don't have to just trust that. I can go back into my Git repository and hit refresh, and I see my files there. Now, if I were to change one of these files, I could do that. More stuff, and I hit save. Now, when I go back into my terminal, git space status, okay, index.html has been modified. That means the file already existed, but it is now different from what's in the repository. I'm good with that, right? I'm done with this file. I'm ready to commit it. So I do git space add space dot, and that takes this modified file, actually all of the files in this repository that are new or modified, and it stages them to be committed. It puts them on the list of things that will be added to the repository when I commit. Git space status, index.html is in green. Changes to be committed, just like it says here. So now, when I commit, I know index.html in its current state will be added to the repository. So I'll do that. Git space commit space -m for message. This is my change to index.html. Okay. 1 file change, that looks good. Git space status, nothing's left on the list. I know everything got committed. Here's that message again. Your branch is ahead of origin master by 1 commit, because again, I changed it only on my computer. To get it on GitHub, I need to push it again. Git space push space origin space master. Git push being the command, origin meaning send it to GitHub, master means the branch that I want to send. I'm on the master branch, just like it says here. And down in the lower right hand corner here in Atom, I hit return. It appears to have pushed it up. I go back into GitHub, I refresh, I click on index.html, more stuff. So the change went. And that's basically it. I mean, it doesn't really get much more complicated than that in this class. Obviously, there's plenty of other stuff that Git can do. But in terms of your general use of this in class for assignment turn-in and collaboration, this should be good for you. Of course, I'm always available for coaching hours if you have questions. Otherwise, good luck.